بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأصلي وأسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى أهله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. تفسير السعدي تيسير الكريم الرحمن في تفسير القرآن بعبد الرحمن بن ناصر السعدي رحمه الله translated by ناصر الدين الخطاب edited by هدى خطاب. سورة النوح. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه أن أنذر قومك من قبل أن يأتيهم عذاب أليم. Indeed we sent Noah to his people, saying, warn your people before there comes to them a painful punishment. قال يا قوم إني لكم نذير مبين. He said, O my people, verily I am a clear warner to you. أن اعبدوا الله واتقوه واتقون. Worship Allah alone and fear Him, and obey me. يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويؤخركم إلى أجل مسمى. إن أجل الله إذا جاء لا يؤخر لو كنتم تعلمون. So that He may forgive some of your sins and give you a respite for an appointed time. Verily, when the time appointed by Allah comes, no reprieve can be given, if only you know. In this surah, Allah does not mention anything other than the story of Noah because of his lengthy stay among his people, by repeatedly calling them to affirm the oneness of Allah and forbidding them to ascribe partners to Him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that He sent Him to His people out of mercy towards them to warn them of the painful nature of Allah, lest they persist in their disbelief, and Allah destroy them once and for all, and subject them to an eternal punishment. Noah alayhi salatu wasalam completed and hastened to obey the command of his Lord, so he said, O my people, verily I am a clear warner to you. That is, my warning is clear. He explained what he was warning them about, and what the consequence will be if they pay no heed, and the means of attaining salvation. He explained all of that in a very clear manner. Then he told them about the main point of his call, and he enjoined that upon them, as he said, worship Allah alone and fear Him, by affirming His oneness and devoting worship only to Him, and keeping away from polytheism and the ways and means that lead to it. For if they feared Allah, He will forgive their sins, and if forgive their sins, they will be saved from punishment and will attain reward, and give you respect for appointed time. That is, give you time to enjoy life in this world, and word of death from you until the appointed time. In other words, the length of your stay in this world is in accordance with the will and decree of Allah until a specified time. Worldly enjoyment is not eternal, for death is inevitable. Hence Allah says, verily when the time appointed by Allah comes, no reprieve can be given, if only you know. When you disbelieve in Allah and stubbornly rejected the truth and did not respond to His call or submit to His command, Noah said, complaining to his Lord, قال ربي إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا. Noah said, my Lord, I have been calling my people night and day. فلم يزدهم دعاء إلا فرارا. But my call has only driven them far away. That is, they only increase in aversion towards the truth, and there is no longer any benefit in calling them. For the benefit of calling is to achieve all or some of what is intended. وإني كلما دعوتهم لتغفر لهم جعلوا أصابعهم في يدانهم واستغشوا ثيابهم وأسروا واستكبروا استكبارا. Every time I call them so that you may forgive them, they put their fingers in their ears and cover themselves with their garments. They are persisting in their disbelief and are too arrogant to follow the truth. Every time I call them so that you may forgive them, that is, so that they may respond. If they respond, you will forgive them. So this is in their interest alone. But they refuse to do anything other than persisting in their falsehood and in their aversion towards the truth. They put their fingers in their ears so that they will not hear what the Prophet Nooh was saying to them, and cover themselves with their garment. That is, they cover themselves with them in order to conceal themselves, fleeing from the truth and out of resentment towards it. They are persisting in their disbelief and evil, and are too arrogant to follow the truth, so their evil will increase and they are unlikely to seek good. ثم إني دعوتهم جهارا. Moreover, I called them openly. ثم إني أعلنت لهم وأسررت لهم إسرارا. I have addressed them in public and spoken to them in private. Moreover, I have called them openly, so that they could all hear. I have addressed them in public and spoken to them in private. All of that was because I was very keen and sincere, and I tried by all means to achieve the goal. فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَارًا. I said, seek the forgiveness of your Lord, for verily He is oft forgiving. يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا. He will send down upon you abundant rain from the sky. ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا. And will bestow upon you wealth and offsprings, and provide you with gardens and rivers. I said, seek the forgiveness of your Lord, and give up what you are committing of sins, and ask Allah to forgive you for them. For verily, He is oft forgiving, and abundantly forgives the one who repents and seeks forgiveness. He sought to encourage them by telling them of the forgiveness of sins, and what will result from that of attaining the reward and awarding of punishment. He also encouraged them by telling them of good result in this world, as He said, He will send down upon you abundant rain from the sky, that is, ongoing rain, which will reach the mountain passes and valleys, and give life to the land and the people, and will bestow upon you wealth and offspring, that is, He will increase your wealth, by means of which you will attain what you want of worldly pleasures, and will increase you in offsprings, and provide you with gardens and rivers. This is the utmost of what one will like and seek in this world. ما لكم لا تجعلوا لله وقارا. What is the matter with you that do not fear the majesty of Allah? They do not fear the majesty of Allah. وَغَضَى لَكُمْ أَطْوَارًا. What He has created, when He has created you in stages. What is the matter with you that you do not fear the majesty of Allah? That is, why do you not fear Allah's greatness, and why do you not have any respect for Him when He has created you in stages? That is, stage after stage, in the mother's womb, then when being breastfed, then in infancy, then at the age of discarnment, then at the age of youth, until the end of whatever one reaches in life. The one who alone is the creator and controller must be the only one to be worshipped. By mentioning the beginning of the creation, of their creation, Allah points out to them they should believe in the resurrection and the hereafter, and that the one who created them from nothing is able to create them after their death. He also cites as proof to them the creation of the heavens, which is far greater matter than the creation of people, as He says, أَلَمْ تَرَوْا كَيْفَ خَلَقَ اللَّهُ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ طِبَاقًا. Do you not see how Allah has created the 7 heavens, one above another? وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ فِيهِنَّ نُورًا وَجَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ سِرَاجًا. And has placed the moon therein as a light, reflected, and has placed the sun as a lamp. Do you not see how Allah has created the 7 heavens, one above another? That is, each heaven is above another, and has placed the moon therein as a light for the inhabitants of the earth, and has placed the sun as a lamp. These highlight the greatness of the creation of these things, and the many benefits that are found in the sun and moon are indicative of Allah's mercy and great kindness. The Almighty, the Most Merciful, deserves to be venerated, loved, and worshipped, and to be the focus of fear and hope. Wallahu anbatakum min al-ardi nabata. Allah has produced you from the earth in a wondrous manner. ثم يعيدكم فيها ويخرجكم إخراجا. Allah then He will return you to it, and will bring you forward once again. Allah has produced you from the earth in a wondrous manner when He created your father Adam, and you were in his loins. And then He will return you to it when you die, and He will bring you forward once again for the resurrection. For it is He who has the power to give life, cause it, and resurrect. وَاللَّهُ جَعَلَكُمْ أَرْضَ بِسَاطًا. Allah has spread out the earth for you, لِتَسْلُكُوا مِنْهَا سُبُلًا فِجَاجًا, so that you may traverse its spacious path. Allah has spread out the earth for you, that is, He has prepared it so that you may benefit from it, so that you may traverse its spacious path. Were it not for the fact that He has spread it out, this will not be possible. In fact, you will not be able to till it, plant it, cultivate it, build structures, and live on its surfaces. قال نوح ربي إنهم عصوني وأتوا ما لم يجدوا ماله وولده إلا خسارة. Nooh said, my Lord, they have disobeyed me, and have followed those whose wealth and children have only increased them in loss. وَمَكَرَهُ مَكْرًا كُبَّارًا. They have put tremendous effort into plotting and scheming. وَقَالُوا لَا تَذَرُنَّ آلِهَتَكُمْ وَلَا تَذَرُنَّ وَدًّا وَلَا سُوَاءً وَيَغُوثَ وَيَعُوقَ وَنَسْرًا. They say, do not forsake your gods, not forsake Wad, Suha, Yaghut, Ya'uq, and Nasra. أيوة. وَقَدْ ضَلُّوا كَثِيرًا وَلَا تَزِدْ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا ضَلَالًا. They have led many astray, so do not increase the wrongdoers in anything but destruction. Nooh said, complaining to his Lord, these words and this exhortation and reminder have not stayed with them, and have been to no avail. They have disobeyed me in what I have enjoyed upon them, and have followed those whose wealth and children have only increased them in loss. That is, they have disobeyed the sincere messenger who showed them the way of good, and they have followed the chiefs and nobles whose wealth and children have only increased them in loss, which is doom. and caused them to miss out on gains. So how about those who submit to them and instead and obey them? They have put tremendous effort into plotting and scheming. That is, they have gone to extremes in stubbornly opposing the truth. They said to them, calling them to strive patterns to Allah and making doings for so fair seeming, not for secular gods. Thus they called them to persist in what they were following in Ophilism in a fatigued manner, and not to forsake the path of their forefathers. Then they mentioned their gods by name, saying, "Do not forsake Wad, Suwaya, Wuta, Yawuka, and Nasra." They were the names of righteous men. When they died, the shaitan made fair seeming to their people the idea of making image of them so as to motivate them, as they claimed, to do acts of obedience and worship when they saw them. But when the passage of time, as other people come along, the shaitan said to them, "Your predecessors used to worship them and seek divine help and seek rain through them." So they began to worship them. Hence their leaders urged their followers not to forsake their worship of these gods. They have led many astray. That is, the leaders and prominent figures led many people astray with their call. So do not increase the wrongdoers in anything but destruction. That is, there is no room for them to be guided or reformed. Therefore Allah mentions their punishment in this world and hereafter, as he said, "Mimma قتلتم أغرقوا فأدخلوا نارا فلم يجدوا لهم من دون الله أنصارا." Because of their sins they were drawn and were doomed to suffer the punishment of fire, and they did not find any helpers to protect them from the punishment of Allah. Because of their sins they were drowned in the sea that surrounded them, and were doomed to suffer the punishment of fire. So their bodies were lost to the sea, and their souls were lost to the fire. All of this was because of their sins, about which their Prophet Nooh والسلام, come to warn them and to tell them of the bad consequences thereof. But they rejected what he said until the exemplary punishment befell them, and they did not find any helpers to protect them from the punishment of Allah, to help them when the punishment befell them, and for no one could oppose the divine will and decree. وقال نوح وقال نوح رب لا تذر على الأرض من الكافرين ديارا. Noah said, "My Lord, do not leave on earth a single living soul from among the disbelievers. إنك إن تذرهم يضلوا عبادك ولا يلد إلا فاجرا كفارا." For if you leave them, they will mislead your slave and will beget none but wicked disbelievers. رب اغفر لي ولوالدي ولمن دخل بيتي المؤمنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات ولا تزد الظالمين إلا تبارا. My Lord, forgive me and my parent and whoever enters my house as a believer, and the believing men and believing women, and do not increase the wrongdoers in anything but ruin. Noah said, "My Lord, do not leave on earth a single living soul from among the disbelievers to walk upon the face of the earth." And he mentioned the reason for that, as he said, "For if you leave them, they will mislead your slaves and will beget none but wicked disbelievers." That is, their remaining is purely detrimental to them and others. Nuh alayhi only said that because of after mixing with them a great deal, and because of what he had experienced of their manners and attitude. He had reached that conclusion based on what he saw, what he knew of their misdeeds. No wonder Allah responded to his prayer and wrote them at all. But he saved Nuh and the believers who were with him. My Lord, forgive me and my parents and whoever enters my house as a believer. These people are singled out for mention because their rights are emphasized and they have priority when it comes to showing kindness. Then he made this application more general and he said, "And the believing men and the believing women, and do not increase their wrongdoers in anything but ruin, but that is loss, destruction, and doom." This is the end of the commentary of Surah Nuh. All praise and thanks are for Allah, and may the praise and peace of Allah be upon Prophet ﷺ, his family and his companions abundantly until the day of judgment.